I don't know why this is coming to me now, but all of these memories are coming together of I think it must be because maybe it's something with like the way, because of Teddy saying that that racial slur. I don't know how this came together, but it's like all these things are coming to me now about things that different kids in my school, myself too, like went through and I don't remember any of this when I went to public school. I wish I had been able to go to public school when I was older. I wanted to go my senior year because I never really liked, I mean, there were things, we did get outside time, but I don't know. I didn't like school anyway, but it would have been interesting to see what it was like at public school as like an older kid. Because I had friends that through dance and through my jobs I had that went to public school, but I didn't go after like third grade. I think I was third or fourth when I went to Bayside. So, but they don't allow bullying. Like they do allow it because it happens, but they don't, or people get away with it, but they don't allow physical altercations. You get, hey, Teddy, are you being mindful of hey, look at me. You got to go in the other room. It's not fair that I have to walk outside. Okay? The TV thing turned out to be not good. It was a STEM thing for him, but no, he's being crazy. Anyway, I don't know. He wanted to do it. So, still not watching TV though. Just wanted to scroll through.
I don't eat chicken stars anymore.
You've never had chicken stars. Anyway, they didn't. You got expelled if people had like physical altercations. I only recall one time hearing about one. I don't think the kids got. I don't remember, something happened. I don't know if I think one of them had to be kicked out or suspended. I don't remember exactly. Like that wasn't allowed. So hey, Teddy, I'll be right back. Keep it down, please. So, but there were still people like there were still. Plus most of us, if you keep going through the grades, like you're stuck there. Whereas like at public school, at least I mean, you're still with the same kids if they stay, but there's so many more kids. Whereas we were a small class. We did grow, but it was a small class. So, there was just like people would use like words, and like I was bullied when I first went to school there, and my brother was bullied really bad. I remember them telling my brother he was a loser, and it still hits me when I think about that, because I'm like, why I was like in shock and I didn't know what to do. And then a group of them like ganged up on my brother one time, because he always had that ended up becoming like what drove him. And because I remember he would talk about it a lot, and he would he always had friends. He never had an issue with that. Like he always had like people he hung out with and got along with and stuff like that. Like he has a great personality. And he's incredibly talented and smart, and he has a lot of things going for him, which is sure that's, I think, the other thing that happens. People don't choose to like heal and love themselves. They don't realize that you're bullied because you're being targeted for a reason. You're being targeted because you're already confident, or you're already like, because I remember that because my brother did this like robot dance thing, and people then started making fun of him, and it was because he was confident. And but it makes you live from a place of anger and spite if you don't ever heal. And I remember there was this one kid, and they called him this derogative term that I didn't realize until, and I don't know why this is coming to me now, but it's like I didn't realize it was like, hey, you can be mindful and go sit in timeout if you can't be respectful. They called him this. I don't know who watches this stuff, and I don't want to get back to them because I know I'm connected to them on Facebook. Like they weren't like a close friend or anything, but like I would never want someone to be like feel like called out or something, or like have to reminisce about this. So it was like it was like a term that I hadn't heard, and I had to look it up because I was like, anyways, it's like a sexual thing that's like, and I'm like, I can't believe all this time. I'm like, this person just like took that on. Like they just let these guys call him that. And it was horrible. And this dude was like, he was an Aquarius. So it was like, he was already like cool on his own, like doing it. He was already kind of a lone wolf. But I remember I saw him later and I remember he talked about these things that happened to him and like the fact that he was overweight and people bullied him for that. And he was like, now I'm like obsessive about fitness. And he like admitted, like, it's sad because it's like that's not from a place, that's not like you're not able to work out and like do it in a way that's like loving your body. I know because I did the exact same thing. I would like try to destroy myself and like at the gym and like way over exceed my boundaries, and it wasn't even fun because it was just out of spite. Or like, you know, I didn't love my body. I didn't appreciate it. I didn't respect it and all of those things because of other people. And there was a girl that was a cheerleader, and she got a really sick nickname, and she wasn't in my class. She was like a year or two above me, and so I didn't really get to know her anymore. But I'm like, stuff like that just tears people apart because, yeah, there is like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, it's character building. I really don't like. There are other ways to like build. That's kind of one of the bigger reasons why, because my kid is sensitive, and the older he is, the more he'll be able to handle it. But it's like, that was another reason why I didn't want him to be in a school setting like that. Because like, you know, like how you think like, oh, I mean, and even the school he's going to now, if it's other kids that are special needs, they're less likely to be judgmental, but it just depends. I mean, it's unavoidable. Like I've been dealing with insane amounts of flack from people from online, but that was because after I started a self-love journey, I was like, now I can deal with the projections. Now I'm not hiding behind a mask all the time and trying to be perfect. Still struggle with it. Like it still is something I'm having to continue to break down years fucking later, like but yeah, I remember, I don't know what, I was like, I don't want to like, there's not much more that's coming to me. I was like, I remember when there was a group of guys that were these bullies to my brother, and they like me and my sister were in them because my brother drove us to school, and then when I started driving, I drove me and Merritt, and you know, that sort of thing. But when my brother was the only one who was 16, he was driving us to and from school, and he had like I think he drove a Spider at that point. Like he had like a little Spider, and it had a spoiler on it and stuff, and he loved that car. And we were all in the car, and they ganged up on him. They were like walking to their cars or something, but they all surrounded his car, and they started just like rocking it back and forth. And they yelled or said something. They were just yelling. I don't remember that part exactly. And you know, my brother was like powerless. Like, what could he even do other than jump out of the car and try to beat? It was like they ganged up on him, so it was like 4 or 5 of them. I don't remember how many. And then they walked away, and like, because I mean, if the administration that they are supposed to be out there, so if they saw that, you know, those guys would have gotten in trouble, like, you know, that's other people's property, if nothing else, like, it's not allowed. But then they walked away, and my brother was just like, yeah, are you guys okay and stuff? And it was just like, it's kind of weird because I don't remember there being other times. I do remember these guys making fun of these 2 guys, and at least one of them I didn't like. I never really liked him. He just rubbed me the wrong way. And then the other guy I was friends with for a little while, and we never dated or anything. It was never like that. It was very what's the word for it? What's my mouth? I don't know why I did that. Very not stoic, whatever, like friendly. And they were making fun of my brother, and like the fact that he had like a double chin or something like that, and they were like making fun of him, and I was just like, I don't know what I said at the time, and then I went, because they were or near me, like in the classroom we were in, and they were like making jokes or something like that. And then I went back and I started crying. And I think I walked out when I was pissed off, like they could tell or something like that. Because then they came and apologized. And I was like, yeah, just don't say shit like that about my brother. Like, it's not your place. Or something. I stood up for him. But I was just like, stuff like that. That's like, it's just that's the thing is about places that like have money is like, it's probably always going to be that way. Like, I don't think that things like that will ever change because you grow up with this entitlement when you have money, because that's how it is. Like, you have to be like, I don't know how I didn't. I'm sure that I was at some point, because I know I went through some narcissistic traits and being selfish for sure. Going through extreme poverty, it definitely humbles the hell out of you. It's just, it is what it is. There's things like that it's like, I just imagine like they're never gonna change. Like, there's always, like, there may be more and more people who are accepting of this, like, different types of gender, whatever, but like, there's still always gonna be bullies. Like, I also don't want my kid to be the bully. That was one of the bigger reasons because I'm like, he is bigger. So, and because he's not like, I'm the emotional one, like, more just in general, like, I'm a crier. Like, my kid cried when he hurt his leg at the park, and he's cried, like a handful of times. And so like, I know, I can tell he has empathy and he feels for me when I'm upset sometimes, but then a lot of times he's not. And so I think he's more inclined to internalize it and then become angry. I mean, I know, because I've seen the anger. And I've struggled with the anger as well, but I also tend to cry, be upset first. So and I don't know, the retaliation. Anyway, I want my kids' world to be built on love, and myself as well, to be building from a strong foundation, even if that means we have to be broke for a little bit longer. Yeah, I don't want him to have to build his world out of spite because people were so cruel to him. It's just, I don't want that for him. And my parents were just completely blind to it. I don't know if what they would have done anyway if they did know, but they were completely blind to it. Me nor my brother, I think, ever said anything. And I don't think my sister was bullied like that. So I don't know why, or I don't know. She's a Libra. They're just very likable. Aries are not. I've had two friends. One of them I'm not close with anymore, but like two friends that I grew up with, became close friends with in my life, told me they didn't like me at first. So I have to have, like a snootiness, or like I don't think I'm as much that way now, but my aura maybe was closed off at the time and they didn't like me. So, anyway, all right.